Hello everyone, today I will be showing you how to make these cool fursuit teeth. Hope that this video will be helpful and enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm very tired as you can tell. But in today's video, I am going to be showing you how you can make these beautiful teeth as shown on the screen right now for your fursuits or cosplays or other masks of some sort. Today, I'm going to show you how to make those teeth pictured. And here are the things you will need. You will need a sewing machine. You will need a pair of fabric scissors. Well, fabric scissors work the best, but you can also use other scissors. You will need a pattern for upper and lower teeth. This is my pattern for upper teeth. Now remember, upper teeth should be longer than your lower teeth because on an actual human mouth, the canines on the bottom are actually more inward than your big canine is. So it should be more up than your lower teeth should be more close together than your upper teeth. So yeah, they should go yum yum yum. You will need your fabric of your choice. In this case, I am using the backing of this iridescent stuff. I'm using the backing of it. Backing looks like that. You are going to need some thread, like heavy duty thread, because that's how you make the bumps on the teeth. And you're also going to need stuffing. Now you don't need a lot of stuffing for this, you don't need a lot. You can just buy a really small bag of them if you can't afford a bigger bag. Yeah, I think I'm forgetting a lot of other things, but I'll see when we move on. Alright, so let's just get started. Knew I was forgetting something. You're gonna need a marker too, guys. Now, since I already made my upper teeth, I just need my lower piece, but the method's the same for upper and lower teeth. Now, since we're going to be sewing these on a sewing machine, you are going to need to add seam allowance. So probably put an extra ½ inch on the end, so about that much. Now you don't need seam allowance on the bottom though. Okay? You know I'd rather be alone, yeah. But then you call me on the phone. Oh, the habits of my heart, I can't say no. It's ripping me apart. You get too close. You make it hard to let you go. I can't say no. It's ripping me apart. So now that you have your two pieces cut out, they look like this. Remember, you can sew these either way on your fabric. I just like the backing better for some reason. But remember, when you're sewing these together, you are going to inside them out. So the side that you don't want to be on the outside has to be outside before you sew it, because when you inside it out, the inside is going to be showing and not the outside. So in that case, since I want the backing instead of just the white, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the iridescent side on the outside. I know it sounds crazy, but you'll see what I mean. And now you want to pin it all together. I have mine already pinned, as you can see. Now the way we're going to sew this is our sewing machine foot will be here. It's really hard to get this angle. And then we're gonna sew along that outside all the way down, but don't sew the bottom. The bottom needs to stay open. It needs to stay open for when we stuff the teeth, and that step is like vital to the next portion. So let's get sewing then. So now you are going to take your teeth pieces and you're just gonna sew them up. Now, this tutorial is actually not meant for complete beginners at sewing. If you want to be able to make a fursuit, you need to have at least a little bit of experience with the sewing machine and hand sewing, so yeah. And the stitch you want to have it on a straight stitch. I usually zigzag for like bodysuits to keep everything strong, but for this we are going to need a straight stitch, just a normal straight stitch. And make sure that the color of your thread both ways is white. This isn't necessary, but it hides the thread from being seen a lot of the time. So just turn that on and start sewing. This song I've been dealing with you for too long. Stop talking, baby, 'cause it ain't all about you. All about you. It ain't all about you, my baby. Ain't all about you. All about you, girl. Shut your fucking mouth for once. Okay, so now you are done with your sewing machine. Sorry for the bad camera angle. And now you have a weird piece that looks something like this. But now these weird edges aren't going to be on the outside. Now take your scissors and just kind of snip off a little bit of the excess. But be very careful not to hit any of the seams, because you don't need a lot of excess, and if you have too much excess, then that can really mess it up. Alright, so now I start from the teeth, and you just turn that inside out, and you do that the same there, and you should have something like this. It doesn't look like much currently, and it will have the bumps, and we'll see how I do that in a minute. So yeah, now let's move on to stuffing it and getting the actual teeth bumps in. Now you are going to want to, if you have a machine or just a spool of thread, you can hand sew this or machine sew it. I just find machine sewing easier. Now just take some of your thread off of your machine. And then cut it, because since this stuff is heavy duty, that's the stuff that we're going to be using for the teeth. So yeah, now that we have our thread, our teeth, and our hopefully not mental breakdowns complete, then let's go. Okay, so now what you want to do, let me just adjust my camera a little, is you have this weird looking tooth pocket thing, and now we're gonna stuff it. Now you don't want to stuff it too little or too much, because we still need to wrap the thread around, so it still needs to be a little bit squishy, but then again not so squishy that the thread completely flattens it. Now I usually start by stuffing the canines first, which I find easier in my opinion. You might also find it easier, but now take that and just kind of pinch it closed. This is about the amount of squishiness it should have. Shouldn't have much more than that. Now take your hot glue gun. I'm going to take that and just put a little bit on the edge there. And we're just going to glue it closed. Just going to do that closed so none of the stuffing can escape. And then you have one canine filled. And then you're gonna do the same to the other side. Now you don't need a lot of stuffing for this. Just remember that. You don't need like a lot of it, just a little. Now the stuffing may easily come out of this, so you really have to squish it down like before you put the hot glue in. Otherwise, it's just gonna pop right out. Alright, so now you have two canines stuffed, hopefully, maybe. And now you're going to stuff the middle of it. Now this part I've always found to be the trickiest part of stuffing the teeth. I don't know why, but it's just the trickiest, well, for me at least. Alrighty, so now stuffed, you have your lower or upper teeth, and they should look something like this. Now, the side that I would want to use to like be visible to other people would be this side here. So make sure to choose the side that you want to be visible. So now is where your thread comes in. Now this part may be hard to see because I don't have a good camera angle currently. But what you want to do is you take your thread that you had before, you just take that, you make a little dot at the bottom or wherever your teeth aren't going to be visible to the viewers, and then you're just going to glue that down there. Now you're just going to take those and you're just going to wrap that around really tightly, but this is why I said to use heavy duty thread, because usually normal thread will easily like rip or like snap, I mean. And then once that is fully wrapped, just go ahead and snip that. And then once that's all tied, you basically have like a little bump for your teeth. And I like to do that on the other canine first, and then I move on to the middle. Now that's just my method. You guys might do that a different way, but I just find that's the method that works the best for me. It might work differently for you depending on your strategy. So now you have the lines on your two canine teeth, and I usually like to put about that much width from teeth to teeth. It might vary by the size of your teeth that you want to make, but try to get them as evenly spaced as possible. That can be difficult, but it turns out nice in the end. Alright, now for the middle teeth, and you basically just do that same method. And then you've got another little bump there. And then I do the same for that side too. And then there you go. You got your beautiful fabric teeth. And this is why I said that you should pick a side that you want it to be on. Because since this is going to be facing the outside, back doesn't look as nice as the outside does, so that's why you want to pick a side first, so that when you wrap the thread around, one side will have the most glue on it rather than the other. So then this is all ready to be, where did I set the phone? But anyways, so now that piece is all prepared to get set like right there. Now remember how I said that the upper teeth should be outside? Well, unfortunately that is how it should be, but sadly due to the shape of the muzzle, it wasn't able to do so. But if you have a feline suit and you're using this technique, then that should probably work for it. And by the way, this is the character design. The sky will also be sold as a pre-made, so keep your eyes open. And yeah. So I hope that this video is helpful for you guys. Let me know if you want to see any other tutorials kind of like this in the future. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Often I'm upset that I cannot fall in love, but I guess this avoids the stress of falling out of bed. Are you tired of me yet? I'm a little sick right now, but I swear when I'm ready I will fly us out of it.